over a new collective bargaining agreement nears a January 9 deadline, the sides remain far apart on key issues. What a revenue sharing system should look like and what should be considered revenue and how to account for expenses. Boy, they're going to go out of business over this revenue sharing thing. If they're not willing to drop it, the league is over.
$700 million in losses. That's not a typo. That's what the WNBA is projecting if they accept the players' union's latest proposal. And here's the kicker, that would be more money than the league has lost in its entire 29-year history combined. We're talking about a CBA negotiation that could literally end the WNBA as we know it.
It would result in $700 million in losses over the course of the agreement. Such losses would jeopardize the league's financial health. No kidding. Be like putting a silver bullet in it. The sources said they would be more than the combined losses of the league and its teams in the first 29 years of existence.
The January 9th deadline came and went. ESPN reported that the two sides remain far apart on fundamental issues, revenue sharing, expense accounting, what even counts as revenue. The players' union wants approximately 30% of gross revenue, with a salary cap around $10.5 million per team. The league looked at those numbers and calculated financial catastrophe.
Whether expansion fees are factored in. Hold on. Okay, we'll get to this in a minute. There's no way they can be this dumb. The league soon will grow to 18 teams. Portland and Toronto will debut in 2026. Cleveland, Detroit, Philadelphia recently paid $250 million each to join the league between 2028 and 2030. The league considers expansion fees a transaction that generates zero net revenue.
But here's where it gets complicated. The union is calling the league's projection absolutely false. Their reasoning? Expansion fees. 3 new teams just paid $250 million each to join the league. Cleveland, Detroit, and Philadelphia are coming between 20. Portland and Toronto debut in 2026. That's over $750 million in expansion money flowing into the WNBA. The players' union sees that as real revenue that should be counted in their share. The league has a completely different view.
As well they should. New teams are out the expansion fee but earn a fractional share of the future league revenue, while pre-existing teams get a portion of the fee but lose a fractional share of future league revenue. The union's proposal, meanwhile, accounts for expansion fees in its projections, seeing them as real money that still contributes to the owners' bottom lines. You players are idiots. Do you expect the league to just forever keep trying to expand? No, that's not the way pro sports work. The NFL hasn't expanded in how many years? 20?
The WNBA considers expansion fees a zero-sum transaction. Yes, new teams pay in, but existing teams lose a fractional share of future league revenue when that pie gets divided more ways. New teams get a fractional share going forward. It's essentially a wash from an accounting perspective. You can't build a sustainable salary structure on expansion fees because expansion doesn't happen forever. The NFL hasn't expanded in over 2 decades. You eventually run out of viable markets. Counting on expansion money as recurring revenue is financial fantasy.
Oh, if we can run the WNBA out of business, guess what? The Unrivaled's really going to take off. I'm going to tell you, those players better get together away from the committee and they better vote Breonna Stewart and Ephesia Collier the hell out of this. They better get them out of there.
Now let's talk about what the league actually offered. Over 50% of net revenue going to players. That's revenue after expenses are subtracted. Maximum salaries would jump from around $500,000 to over $1.3 million, growing to nearly $2 million by the end of the deal. average salary would hit $780,000 per year. Right now, the average is approximately $120,000. That's a 650% increase in average salary. The salary cap would start at $5 million and grow with league revenue. As the WNBA makes more money, players make more money automatically.
Either way, the two sides remain divided on the nature of the next deal's revenue share model, sources told ESPN. The league has proposed a system where players would receive in excess of 50% of the net revenue, essentially defined as revenue after subtracting expenses. That's fair. They're saying whatever's left over, we'll give you 50% of it. What is wrong with that? A source told ESPN the last reported WNBA proposal from December 18th featured an uncapped revenue sharing component, a raise of a maximum salaries above $1.3 million and growing to nearly $2 million over the life of the deal. It's crazy.
So why isn't that enough? Because the union is demanding gross revenue sharing instead of net. They want their cut before expenses, not after. That's the fundamental divide destroying these negotiations. The league is saying, we'll split the profits with you 50-50. The union is saying, we want our share, regardless of whether there are any profits. Think about what that means for the business model. If your expenses are high in a given year, maybe you're investing in new facilities or marketing, the players still get their full percentage of gross revenue. The owners absorb 100% of the loss. There's zero incentive to invest in growing the league because you're guaranteed to lose money doing it.
Project B. I mean, another potential competitor. More recently, as talks continued, the league has proposed a lower salary cap closer to $10.5 million. Multiple sources familiar with negotiations told ESPN. WNBPA staff regularly...
And this is where the Caitlin Clark factor becomes crucial. The WNBA just signed a massive new media rights deal. Ratings exploded in 2024, largely because of one player. The league was finally positioned to become profitable after 29 years of NBA owners subsidizing losses out of pure charity. But you can kill the value of even a great media deal if your cost structure is insane. If the players' union forces a CBA that guarantees hundreds of millions in losses, what's the point? Why would NBA owners continue funding a league that's structurally designed to never make money?
You know, normal people understand a business got to make a profit in order to stay in business. And out of sheer charity, these owners have kept this league afloat. If I'm them, and it's a hell of a position to be in because they got Caitlin Clark and they know the league can turn a profit with this media rights deal. And I said, yeah, they're about to start turning a profit. Provided the players aren't unreasonable.
Here's what makes this situation so dangerous. The people negotiating for the players' union include individuals with financial interests in competing leagues. Breanna Stewart is heavily involved with Unrivaled, a 3-on-3 league launching in 2025 that directly competes with the WNBA for players and attention. If the WNBA collapses under an unsustainable CBA, where do you think those players end up? Now, I'm not saying that's the motivation, but the optics are terrible. You've got union leadership pushing demands that could bankrupt the league while simultaneously building alternative leagues to catch the players when it falls apart.
Even they can kill the value of the media rights deal to their business if their proposal is ridiculous. And this is ridiculous. Wow. My boy Ben Daniel would say this is nasty work. It's nasty ass work is what it is. I mean, who is in charge? And whoever it is, fire all of them. Adam Silver needs to step in right now and just say, ladies, this isn't going to happen. So, and I would give him a deadline. whatever, in February 28th. If you continue down this road, that is the day we are going to start a lockout.
Let's be clear about what's at stake here. This isn't about whether WNBA players deserve more money. They absolutely do. The league is growing. Ratings are up, attendance is climbing, and the new media deal proves there's real value being created. Players should share in that success. But there's a difference between fair compensation and financial suicide. The league's offer would make WNBA players among the highest paid professional athletes relative to league revenue in the world. $780,000 average salary in a league that's never turned a profit. That's not exploitation, that's generosity. The union's counter-proposal doesn't just ask for more. It demands a revenue-sharing structure that mathematically guarantees the league loses money. That's not negotiating. That's demanding the owners subsidize your salaries forever, with no path to sustainability. And here's the thing about business. Even charity has limits. NBA owners have funded WNBA losses for 3 decades because they believed in the mission and saw long-term potential. But if the players' union is saying, "We don't care if you ever make money, we want ours regardless," why would those owners continue? They're not obligated to run a permanent charity case. Adam Silver needs to step in and set a hard deadline. Give the union a date, say February 28th, and make it clear that if they continue down this path, the league implements a lockout. Because right now, the players' union is negotiating like they have all the leverage, when in reality, they're playing chicken with the league's existence. The working person understands that businesses need to make profit to stay in business. You can't pay out more than you bring in forever. That's not capitalism. And if the WNBA Players Union can't grasp that basic economic reality, they're going to negotiate themselves right out of a league. So where does this end? Either the union comes back to reality and accepts a deal that allows the league to eventually become profitable, or we're looking at a lockout that could kill the WNBA's momentum entirely. All that goodwill from the Caitlin Clark season, all those new fans, all that media attention, gone because the Players Union insisted on a deal that no rational business could accept. The choice is stark: accept a generous offer that makes you wealthy and gives you a share of growing profits, or demand an unsustainable deal that bankrupts the league and leaves everyone unemployed. Seems like an easy decision, but based on these negotiations, apparently it's not.